Tracy, one of the things I've been looking at is this home buyer demand. Right? We want to know. I want to know. We're real estate investors. We're real estate brokers. We have a largest real estate team in New Mexico. We want to know. We want to be able to know what's going to happen in our market in the future, right? We want to predict the future, right? So I want the crystal ball. We all want the crystal ball, right? And so I watch a lot of different things, but one of the things is a handful of key indicators that look at buyer demand, right? So what what are the things that are going to foretell what's going to happen with home buyers in the future? And one of the stats that we've had for a long time is pending sales, right? Well, pending sales is great. It tells us that the home went under contract and now we're going to have a closing in 30, 45 days, right? That's great. But what about before the pending sale, right? What are the things what are the behaviors that are going on that buyers are doing before the pending sale to kind of give us a glean into what's going to happen, in the future. And one of them has got this really great piece of data that comes from Realtor.com, and they have a thing called market hotness.
I like that, market hotness.
Market hotness. They only started this in 2017, so it hasn't been around very long. And what they do is so Realtor.com, if you don't know, it's like Zillow. They have all the property listings in the entire country on their website. Every home for sale in the country, basically. And what they do is they can track, what people are looking at, where people are looking at homes, how often people are looking at homes, how many times they're
on
clicking
their website.
On their website, right? And so what they do is they come up with this index that says, how does this market compare to other markets? And it's a comparison. And what they're doing a comparison as well as how much traffic they're getting on a certain area, a market.
It's really eyeballs on their site and on specific properties to gauge how much activity there is, right?
Home search activity.
Right.
Which is probably one of the first things that somebody does when they think they're going to buy a home, right?
Totally. They get online.
Get on Zillow. Oh, they get on welcomehomeabq.com, I'm sure.
A lot of them do, actually.
A lot of them do. We do have a lot of people.
We have so much good content there.
Yeah. And so anyway, so that's the first one. So the short of it is, in Albuquerque, it's very good.
It's hot.
It's hot. We're still above. It really went really high starting in the beginning of 2020, and this was before the pandemic, before the brief recession that we had because of the pandemic. Our market was already very strong.
Right.
Back in January and February, I remember sitting here doing this radio show in January, February of 2020, going, It's going to be busy.
Yeah, this is a off-the-charts year coming up in 2020, and then COVID hit.
And
we still had a few months of off-the-charts, and we still had a lot of home growth, price appreciation. But right now, the market's hot. And there's other indicators, right, Tego, besides that. So besides online viewing, we've got feedback from our showing system.
Yeah, well, and actually there's let's put these in order. So first off, we got people looking at homes online, right? So the next step is like, you know what? I should get qualified. I should go get a mortgage, right? And so the next stat that we have is mortgage applications for purchase.
Right.
Not mortgage application for refinance. Unfortunately, I don't have local data, but I do have national data, and it's still trending above 2017, 2018, 2016, even above 2019. It went really high in, mid-late 2020 all the way through the beginning of this year, and it's come back down, but it's still higher than previous years. So mortgage
especially
applications,
for this time of year.
Absolutely. Yeah. So,
we talk to local lenders, legacy mortgage, primary residential, different lending.
Waterstone. I mean, there's so many great lenders in town. Yeah.
And when we talk to them, they talk about how many people they have that are pre-qualified, so to speak, have already filled out a loan app, or in the hopper that are waiting to find the right house. And we know the demand is high locally. We just don't have the stat for it. We have a national stat.
Well, this is more just what we feel on our team, but we just have a couple homes come on the market and in the last week, and Lots of demand, lots
Right.
of people wanting those homes. So the people are out there. The other one is what I call foot traffic, Tracy. And so now they've done their application. Now they're going to go out and look at homes, right? So how many people are looking at homes and viewing homes? And that stat is very strong as well. And it's really pretty much equal with last year, as well as I've got 2019, 2020, and 2021. And we're a little bit behind 2019, both 2020 and 2021. And I think that more has to do with just the lack of supply versus the actual that people want to go out and look at them. Yeah.
So what's interesting is this just started getting tracked in 2019, right? So we know when we put a lockbox on a house for sale, we get the data of how many times that lockbox is opened. And that's where this data is coming from. Basically, it's appointments to view homes through an online system. So we're seeing the fluctuations of how many showings are happening across our market.
Yeah.
And you pull that data regularly, and we can see it. So it's pretty cool.
So the last one, and we already talked about it, was pending sales, right? So pending sales is the thing that really tells us, okay, how many closings are there going to be here in the next 32 to 45 days? That's generally the escrow period. And like I said a moment ago, we saw the second greatest number of pendings in August. Of 2021 ever in our market. So
there you go. There's the hotness. And with 4 different parameters of real statistics and real data to show that buyer demand is still very, very strong.
Here's the headline. There is no indication of a fall off in buyer demand right now in the Albuquerque market for real estate. And and then we look at the supply side, which we've beaten up pretty well. Is the supply side is very limited, continues to be very limited. Homes are coming on the market, are going off the market very fast if they're good houses.